we have a guest presenter today. Our guest presenter is Ed Boito. Ed is currently the Small Business Ombudsman for the DEP, the Department of Environmental Protection. As the Ombudsman, Ed is the primary contact for small businesses when questions or issues arise with their interactions with DEP. Previously, Ed served as a government liaison in the South Central Region Office for DEP. In that capacity, Ed worked with state legislators as well as county and municipal officials in solving their problems and answering questions that occurred with the department. Prior to DEP, Mr. Boito co-owned a solar installation and energy efficiency consulting company in Harrisburg. He has held several positions in the private sector and has worked for conservation organizations in the Harrisburg region. I am Denise Bechtel. I'm the team lead for energy and environment for PennTAP. Information about me can be found on the PennTAP website, so you can go and click on my bio there. Today, we're going to talk about energy funding. Here I have listed all the different resources that we're going to talk about, but there are many other resources that can be found, and I'll show you a link to where you can go find those. We just want to touch upon some of these. We're going to talk about, well, Ed is going to talk about the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection. We're going to highlight the Department of Community and Economic Development, DCED, United States Department of Agriculture, USDA, talk about utility rebates and incentives, the Sustainable Energy Fund, and then tax credits. But for now, I am going to give the mic over to Ed and let him talk about what DEP has to offer. So Ed, if you want to go ahead and talk about the Small Business Advantage Grant, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Denise. Hello, everyone. I'd like to mention two different programs that I administer here in the Office of the Small Business Ombudsman. The first is the Small Business Advantage Grant, and let's start by talking about that today. The grant was started 15 years ago to assist small businesses to adopt pollution prevention processes or energy efficiency measures. To talk about those briefly, pollution prevention processes could be anything from a doctor's office that wants to go digital and get rid of their old x-ray equipment so they're not pouring old chemicals and down the drain, as well as a lot of diverting a lot of materials from the landfills. And the second is energy efficiency measures. Many of you may be looking to upgrade your lighting to LED lighting, or you have an old HVAC system or boiler that might need to be replaced. That's where you can apply for the Small Business Advantage Grant. If you could flip to the next slide, please. Thank you. So for the availability, every year we've had $1 million that is available to small businesses, and those grants are anywhere from several $100s up to a maximum of $9,500. What this grant will do is it will reimburse you 50% of your eligible equipment expenses. So for example, with lighting, you could upgrade the light fixtures or the light bulbs, motion detectors, things like that. With your HVAC, you can upgrade your HVAC. And again, that would be 50% of those eligible equipment expenses. The applications are only available through the Commonwealth's online application system. And if you go to my website, which is the Small Business Advantage Grant website, you can Google that. Again, it's the Small Business Advantage Grant. You'll see that you can get a link to the online application system there, as well as to the grant guidance that is available to you out there. Now, these grants are awarded on a first-come, first-served basis, so you have to act quickly. Last year, we gave out our $1 million in just over 3 months. I think it was 3 months and 5 days. And several of those people still had to be declined because we just didn't. Great. I would highly suggest that you act quickly. Now, so that you know, The grant is currently closed, but it will be open very, very, very soon. So if we go to the next slide here, Denise. Just some of the basic eligibility requirements for the Small Business Advantage Grant is that you have to have 100 or fewer full-time equivalent employees, and your business must save $500 and 25% annually on those costs that are associated with energy efficiency or pollution prevention. Okay. Now note that I have on there, this is excluding the natural resource projects. This year, when we do open the grant in the next couple days here, farmers will be eligible to apply for natural resource protection projects, such as installing riparian buffers, stream bank exclusionary fencing, or other type of ag stormwater BMPs. So that's going to be new this year. A couple other basic eligibility requirements. Anything purchased or installed prior to July 20th, which is tomorrow, will not be eligible to get reimbursed through this grant. And all projects must be completed by June 30th of next year to get the grant money. And again, what you want to do is see the grant guidance document that is on our website so that you can see if the project that you want to perform is going to be eligible for this grant. Next page, please. This is a case study that I'm really happy about. Last year, an 8-employee orthodontic office down in the York area got a $9,500 grant to install a new digital oral scanner. Now, this got rid of their old digital x-ray equipment. Because they installed this new equipment, they're saving $7,400 a year on dental supplies, electricity, and other materials, as well as diverting a lot of materials from the landfill that used to go and take up valuable space. So the simple payback period for their portion of the cost is less than 3 years. So you can see that this office is saving pretty near $8,000 a year, and it's going to take them 3 years to pay back that equipment. So this equipment cost them about $35,000, but they got a $9,500 grant. They're going to pay it back off in 3 years. Next slide, please. The next program that I want to talk about is the Pollution Prevention Assistance Account. Now, unlike the Small Business Advantage Grant, this is a loan, and this would be required to be paid back. Now, this loan can be used by any small business with 100 source or reduce their energy consumption. Next slide. Now, again, this is for small businesses only with 100 or fewer full-time equivalent employees. This loan is jointly administered by both DEP and DCED, which is a Community and Economic Development Department. Where we're involved with at DEP is we will take a look at your application, make sure that the energy efficiency or pollution prevention requirements are being met, and then we turn that over to DCED, and they handle all the financial paperwork involved with this loan. Right now, we have over $1.2 million available for these type of loans. And this loan never closes. It's a revolving loan program. As people pay back the loan with the small amount of interest that is required, it builds the program balance up, and we can keep lending out more money to different businesses. Now, in order to apply for this loan, you want to work with your local economic development corporation. Every county has their own local economic development corporation. Some counties that are small rural counties do join together. I'm sure you've all heard of CEDACOG, and or that's a local economic development corporation. And you can work with them to do the application. Next slide, please. Now, for this loan program, it covers 75% of the total project cost of for the project. So, for example, if this is a $40,000 project, it would cover $30,000 of that project. Now, you can mix the loan together with the grant so that you can cover most of the costs with the grant and the loan. This loan is a 2% fixed rate for the life of the loan, which is really hard to beat in today's rising interest rate environment. There's a 10-year maximum term on the loan, and it's limited to $100,000. Now, what we're hoping to do is when we see that the energy efficiency that you're going to extract out of the project or the pollution prevention, those savings are going to help reduce the cost of the loan. So, for example, your loan over 10 years might be $250, but if you're realizing a $300 energy savings, you're actually going to be coming out $50 ahead of the game. Next slide, please. So that's really everything for the two programs that I administer. My name again is Ed Boito, and you can call me at that number there or email me there. My assistant here is Carolyn Zepp, and you can also call her. Denise, I cannot hear anything that you're saying, if you can still hear me.
Okay, can everybody hear me now? Can you hear me yet?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so Ed, I'm sorry, can you just repeat? We kind of lost your connection there for a second. Can you tell us about Caroline again, just for a second?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Caroline is my assistant here. She's the program analyst for both the loan program as well as the Small Business Advantage Grant. And either her or I can answer any of your questions when you'd like to apply for either of these two programs.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much for the information from DEP. DEP also has a grant webpage that you can go to and look at their grants and opportunities that they have to offer. So, thanks, Ed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to move on now to what DCED has to offer. So with the Department of Community and Economic Development, there's the Alternative and Clean Energy Program, which is also known as ACE. We love our acronyms, don't we? ACE provides financial assistance in the form of grants and loans that can be used by eligible applicants for the utilization, development, and construction of alternative and clean energy projects in Pennsylvania. This program is administered jointly by DCED and DEP. And it's also under the direction of the Commonwealth Finance Authority, so CFA. These funds are used to promote the utilization, development, and construction of alternative and clean energy projects. Any infrastructure associated with compressed natural gas and liquefied natural gas fueling stations, plus energy efficiency and energy conservation projects. So like some examples of eligible projects include the site preparation of a business park consisting exclusively of a certified high-performance building, or installing equipment to improve energy efficiency, for example, heating, cooling, or lighting, or maybe the installation of an alternative energy system. Some alternative energy systems can be biomass, wind energy, waste energy technologies, geothermal, and others. The funds can be used for the construction or development of an alternative energy project. Some of these, like maybe a facility that manufactures or produces products, including component parts that provide alternative energy, a facility that manufactures or produces alternative fuels, compressed natural gas or liquefied natural gas, fueling stations, or equipment associated with dispensing the fuel. There are a lot of other examples in the application guidelines that you can review and see if that funding fits your project. Businesses, economic development organizations, municipalities, counties, and school districts are all eligible for this funding. Now the funding, it includes loans shall not exceed $40,000 for every new job created within 3 years after approval of the loan. So those loans for any alternative energy production or clean energy project shall not exceed $5 million or 50% of the total project cost, whichever is less. Then the funding, if it's a grants for manufacturers of alternative or a clean energy generation equipment, that shall not exceed $10,000 for every job projected to be created by the business within 3 years after approval of the grant. And these grants for any alternative energy production or clean energy project, they cannot exceed $2 million or 30% of the total project costs, so whichever is less. And the grants shall not exceed $5 million and have a term of not more than 5 years. There is a fee to apply. The fee is $100 and the application is done online. And I've included the web link on this slide for you to go to, and then you can, download the application guidelines. There is a match investment required of at least a 1-to-1 for every dollar of the program funds awarded. So that is ACE. The next one is high performance building. This is to assist with the construction of high performance building that provides financial assistance in the forms of grants and loans to underwrite the cost premiums associated with the design and construction, or maybe the major renovation of a high performance building, all within Pennsylvania. And it's administered, once again, through DCED and DEP. And it is to assist with construction or renovation, as I mentioned previously. And small businesses and individuals are eligible for these funds. Now, the loans for the high performance buildings and these projects for small businesses, they shall not exceed $2 million. And the loans for individual residents and those projects cannot exceed $100,000. And grants for the high performance building projects, they do not exceed more than $500,000 or 10% of the total eligible building construction renovation costs, so whichever is less. And then the grants shall not exceed $2 million for small businesses or $100,000 for the individual. So there is a fee to apply, and as I said, a $1-to-1 match for the program funds. The next opportunity, and once again, there's the link to go to find the applications for this. We have the PIPE program, the PIPE investment program. It provides grants to construct the last few miles of a natural gas distribution line to a business park or an existing manufacturer or industrial enterprises, which will result in the creation of new economic-based jobs in the Pennsylvania, while providing access to natural gas for residents. So these funds, they may be used for the acquisition, construction, site preparation costs associated with extending that natural gas pipeline. Eligible participants for this are economic development organizations, businesses, municipalities, hospitals, school districts, all, like I said, are eligible for this grant. The maximum grant amount for any pipeline investment program shall not exceed $1 million or 50% of the total project cost, so whichever is less. And the contact person for this is Brian Eckert at DCED, and his phone number is there, 717-720-1400. And Brian really, he oversees the PIPE program, but he also can answer questions on the other two programs that I talked about, the high performance building program and then also the alternative and clean energy program. So if you have any questions, he's your guy to call and ask. He knows, he's the guru. He's the grant guru for DCED. With this, there's also, with PIPE, there's also the $100 fee to apply, and the application is done online. Okay. With this, there's also that one-to-one match. Next, we're going to go on to USDA. What does USDA have to offer? With USDA, they have the Rural Energy for America program, which is otherwise known as REAP. And REAP provides guaranteed loan financing and grant funding to agriculture producers and rural small businesses for renewable energy systems or to make energy efficiency improvements. So for any ag producer with at least 50% of your gross income coming from agricultural operations, and for small businesses in an eligible rural area, you can apply for this grant. Eligible rural areas, they have a link on their website that you can go to and put in your zip code, and it'll tell you if you apply. If you are in Erie or Pittsburgh or Philly, obviously that's not rural, and even parts of Scranton. But, you know, punch in your zip code and see if you're eligible. The funds may be used for renewable energy systems like biomass projects, anaerobic digesters, biodiesel, geothermal, hydropower, small and large wind generation, and others. Funds may also be used for the purchase and installation and construction of energy efficiency improvements, such as HVAC systems, lighting, cooling and refrigeration units, doors and windows, and others. The loan guarantees are up to 75% of the total eligible project cost, and the grants are for up to 25% of the total eligible project cost. And then you can also do a combined loan and grant for the funding up to 75% of the total eligible project cost. Now, for information, you can contact the Pennsylvania Energy Coordinator, Amanda Hope. She's located in Harrisburg, and her number 717-237-2289. And I also, her email is located there too, amanda.hope@pa.usda.gov. There are energy coordinators throughout the state. They have regions just like we have DEP regions. So there's different coordinators, but Amanda is the main coordinator for USDA. And she is very helpful and knowledgeable, and you can give her a call and she can answer any questions that you have. I also provided the web link to that on this slide for you as well. Okay. Next, we're going to talk about utilities and rebates. We have many service providers within our state, so I just wanted to give you a service provider map here. Pennsylvania Utility Service Territory, and then all the different utilities that serve Pennsylvania. Okay, so you can reference this then too. We're going to just talk about all the different utilities and what they have to offer. So the first one is PPL Electric. They have their direct discount program that provides your business with energy efficiency rebates to offset project costs, and a list of participating contractors to complete the upgrades. Any small business customers in the PPL Electric Utility Service Territory that are classified as a GS1 or a GS3 rate code are eligible for rebates. Now, pre-approval is required. In this slide are examples of some of the eligible measures that you can take to qualify for a rebate. So as you can see under lighting, LED fixtures, they must be Energy Star rated, DLC certified, Design Light Consortium certified. Under compressed air, you can see variable frequency drive compressors less than 75 horsepower, refrigerated cycling dryers. Also, too, under refrigeration, there's a list of things as well: auto closers, evaporator fan controllers. I'm not going to read everything, as you guys could see this. I do want to let you know, though, that the rebates for all the utilities are very similar, but there are some differences as well. Okay. The next slide with PP&L. This here is for manufacturers. The PP&L program can help manufacturers identify the most cost-effective energy improvements for their facilities to reduce peak demand, lower annual energy consumption, and realize both short and long-term cost savings. They offer business rebates towards energy-efficient lighting, HVAC, VFDs, compressed air, and more. So in this slide, here is an example of rebates available for manufacturers. And so it shows here what the project may be, the unit, and then the estimated annual savings, and then what the rebate would be for that. So just an example. Then we have the participation is very simple. Finding a participating contractor on the PPL website. You contact a direct discount contractor to assess your facility to determine your eligibility and quantify energy improvement. Then you choose your projects, install your equipment, and receive your rebate. So you want to contact PP&L at the phone number that's provided there for you on the slide, 866-432-5501. Okay, and they're going to put you in touch with the Clear Result. And Clear Result, they're the folks that are going to take you through the rebate process and help you to get your rebate. Okay. Next, we have First Energy. Okay. So First Energy, they have for your business the demand response program. With the demand response program, it's for commercial, industrial, governmental, and institutional customers of MedEd, Penn Power, and West Penn Power. It can reduce your demand for energy in the summer months during peak load days and get great benefits. These benefits are financial incentives for participating, peak load day energy and demand savings, and they improve your energy reliability. Load reduction techniques include temporarily reducing or shutting down an industrial process, turning off lights in groups or in sequences, reducing the use of HVAC systems, shutting down large motors or compressors, or starting backup generation. Those are just a few examples. Now you can also use these programs to offset the cost of running standby generation. The program is administered by approved demand response program service providers selected by First Energy's Pennsylvania Utilities. And if you're interested in participating in this program, you want to contact First Energy. There are many other incentive programs. The Business Energy Analyzer, it is simple. It's a convenient tool that you can use to save energy and money. Just follow the easy steps to gain a better understanding of your energy use and identify ways to improve your efficiency. The many other incentives include like agriculture, appliances, lighting, custom building, custom equipment, facility audits, food services. They're all listed right here in the slide. And they have an appliance turn-in program too. So, First Energy. For First Energy, program participants need to seek pre-approval before purchasing their proposed equipment to ensure it meets the program requirements and is eligible for incentives. Sodexo is the design program implementer for commercial and industrial energy efficiency programs for First Energy. Participation is easy. Contact Sodexo and assess your facility to determine eligibility and quantify energy improvements. Choose your projects, install the equipment, and receive your rebate. Kind of sounds familiar, doesn't it? So Sodexo's contact information is included in the slide. It is C.D. Jarrett. He is the area manager for West Penn Power. If you contact him either by email, cd.jarrett@sodexo.com, or call him at 724-759-5551, call him, let him know what you want to do, and he will either take care of it for you or he'll get you in touch with the right manager to take care of that and get your rebate for you. Pico's Utilities, Pico's Rebates. They offer popular energy efficiency upgrades for small businesses. They include high efficient refrigeration equipment, HVAC systems, lighting, water conservation, vending machine controls. Pico offers for commercial and industrial. Some common energy saving solutions include HVAC equipment, motors and drives, data centers, new construction, lighting, refrigeration equipment, and compressed air. Pico, all you have to do is evaluate your energy efficiency opportunities. Pico offers solutions for like every type and size of your business to help you save your money and to improve your bottom line. Once again, you choose qualifying equipment and measures, which solutions make the most sense for your facility and your budget. And then Pico offers a list of smart ideas for your business. And the smart ideas are included, this list in this slide. It's really kind of a cool thing that they put together. And it gives you, the list gives you, ideas of what they have and what they have to offer and how much the incentive is. And so that list is actually on their website. So then you apply through their authorized contractors. They will make sure that the next necessary documentation is completed for you so that you can get your incentives as soon as possible. So the authorized contractor in this case would be, you would want to contact Jen Robinson, okay? And her contact information is there. Her phone number, 484-838-8618. And give her a call, and they take care of the rebates for Pico. Also, we have Duquesne Light. So if you are in the Duquesne Light territory, they provide rebates. They have business rebates, express efficiency, non-residential upstream lighting, demand management, commercial efficiency, industrial efficiency. So with their business rebate, provides rebate on a wide range of energy saving devices that a commercial or industrial customer might use. And for example, linear LED lamps or LED fixtures and VFDs, something that you've heard before with all the other rebates and other service providers. So express efficiency, that's for the small commercial and industrial customers, okay? So you want to contact for Duquesne, you want to go through the same process as the others. You want to contact the service provider for them. You need to evaluate your opportunities. You want to choose the qualifying equipment and measures, and then you want to contact Ron Ryzak. He is the authorized contractor for Duquesne Light, and he'll make sure that the necessary documentation is completed. And they have a nice list, and theirs is their watt choices, and it lists out what is eligible and what it is per price per unit or fixture of what the rebate will be. So Ron's contact information is in this slide, and his phone number is 412-393-6608. So let's move from rebates and go right into the Sustainable Energy Fund. We have a couple sustainable energy funds throughout the state. West Penn Power Sustainable Energy Fund is a nonprofit organization, okay, that was founded to promote the deployment of sustainable energy technologies that benefit West Penn Power ratepayers in Pennsylvania. So the West Penn Power Sustainable Energy Fund financing programs are focused on the deployment of renewables and clean energy power production, innovative energy efficiency and conservation technologies, and then also public outreach and education. Now, the Sustainable Energy Fund provides financing for energy efficiency projects as well as renewable energy projects in the PPL territory. So SEF helps finance commercial entities, industrial operations, municipal projects, agricultural businesses, and nonprofits. And then the MET-Ed Penelec Sustainable Energy Fund provides grants and loans and equity investments, and they promote the development and the use of renewable energy and clean energy technologies, energy conservation and efficiency, sustainable energy businesses and projects that improve the environment in the company's service territories. So you have different funding throughout the different sustainable energy funds throughout Pennsylvania. You can go to each of their web links here and find out more information regarding these, okay? We will be archiving this webinar, and it'll be on the Penn Tap website so that these links, you'll have access to these. So next we want to talk about tax credits, the Federal Business Energy Investment Tax Credit. It's been amended a number of times. Most recently, it has been amended in February 2008. So here in this slide, it just talks about the technologies, the sectors that it applies to, and then the parameters of it. So first is the solar technologies. Eligible solar energy property includes equipment that uses solar energy to generate electricity, to heat or cool a structure, or to provide solar process heat. So hybrid solar lighting systems, which use solar energy to illuminate the inside of a structure using fiber optic distributed sunlight, are eligible. So passive solar systems and solar pool heating systems are not eligible. Okay. Sectors: commercial, industrial, investor-owned utility, municipal utilities, cooperative utilities, and agriculture. And this is, you get 30%. Then you have the geothermal systems. The credit is equal to 10% of the expenditures with no maximum credit limit stated. So eligible geothermal energy property includes geothermal heat pumps and equipment used to produce, distribute, and use energy derived from a geothermal deposit. And then we also have the credit for combined heat and power as well. And as you can see, we have the same sectors apply, but this is for 10%. You also have the web link that's here as well, where you can go and see more information about tax credits. In general, the original use of the equipment must begin with the taxpayer, or the system must be constructed by the taxpayer. Okay. Next slide talks about funding resources. This I like to go to this resource when looking for funding opportunities. This is a great resource. I use it all the time, and I mean all the time. Desire. It's the most comprehensive source of information on incentives and policies that support renewables, energy efficiency projects, and it encompasses the whole United States. Of course, I look at Pennsylvania, but it was established in 1995, but Desire is operated by the North Carolina Clean Energy Technology Center at North Carolina State University, and it's funded by DOE. But Desire lists rebates, grants, loans, tax incentives, and like I said, for each state, but of course I go there for Pennsylvania. And I see what's listed for small businesses, industries. It talks about residential. It is just a great resource to go to if you're interested in looking for funding. Now, of course, today I just, I touched on a lot of popular funding that's out there and it's available, but there are still, some others that, you can go here to this website and look, and maybe you're in an area of the state that there might be something like areas in Philadelphia that have particular funding because you live in Philadelphia. So, or areas in Pittsburgh because you live in Pittsburgh. So go to this website and see if you have something going on within your facility that you think might be applicable, to whatever might be happening with some of these grants. Okay, so great resource to go to. And as I mentioned earlier, then DEP has a grant page that you can go to as well and see what is available on their grant page. Next, I'm just going to highlight Penn Tap, what we are, what we do, and take up, the last 5 minutes, and then we'll have some Q&A. Penn Tap, we're the Pennsylvania Technical Assistance Program at Penn State, and we are federal, state, and university partnership to stimulate statewide economic development. Penn Tap helps organizations maximize your competitiveness through in-person consultations, unbiased technical advice, and connections to Penn State experts, resources, and programs. We engage, empower, and educate Pennsylvania organizations through technical assistance and Penn State expertise and resources. Our services, we have the energy and environment. As I said, I am the team lead for energy and environment, and then we also have the innovation. Under the energy and environment, we do E2, P2 assessments. We have the E3, economy, energy, and environment. We have energy management systems, ENMS, building retuning. And then under the innovation, we have the product and process improvement, our learning factory, and then student entrepreneurship. Our E2 assessments, P2, E2, we perform free pollution prevention and energy efficiency audits for manufacturers in Pennsylvania. The audit reports provide recommendations with cost savings, estimated project costs, and payback periods. For applicable companies, PennTAP also provides assistance completing grant applications for project implementation. So when Ed was talking about the Small Business Advantage Grant earlier, that's something that we can help companies go through that process. We can perform the calculations required for that grant application. With the E3, PennTAP's Energy, Environment, and Economy, also called E3 events, combined energy audits, pollution prevention, and lean manufacturing. Each event aims to bring together a lean manufacturer expert with PennTAP experts to improve the overall process. So we partner with the IMCs, the IRCs throughout the state, and we do projects with them and come into companies and help them. Building Retuning. Building Retuning is a program that's combined classroom and hands-on training opportunity for government agencies, including schools and municipalities, and that program focuses on no and low-cost savings opportunities. With our ENMS, It's designed to help organizations take a systematic approach to achieving continual improvement in energy performance by creating a framework to integrate energy efficiency into existing management systems. And ENMS can help you establish the policies and procedures to plan, identify, prioritize, and implement projects that can improve your facility's energy performance. This is just a slide to just demonstrate or show our past successes from our team in 2017. We did 79 on-site P2 assessments, E3 events, and BRT sessions and ENMS trainings. We reduced 1.8 million greenhouse gas emissions and had well over $4 million in economic benefits to our clients. With the innovation services, the Learning Factory has been engaging students with company sponsors for over 22 years now. The Learning Factory allows student teams to demonstrate before they graduate their ability to perform in a working environment. It helps organizations to build engagement networks with the faculty and the staff within Penn State. And it helps companies to benefit from inexpensive but high quality engineering design services. And it allows companies a longer term interview with potential students they might want to hire after graduation. Also, Penn Tap is a 2-year of a current 5-year USDA University Center program to enhance and build economic development in Pennsylvania by leveraging our resources with businesses and in community partnerships. And we do that by engaging our students, Penn State students and faculty in technical design and operational efficiency projects to help entrepreneurs and intrapreneurs. There are 21 innovation hubs located at Penn State campuses around the Commonwealth, and they help with new businesses and new product creation. The Learning Factory does over 200 student team and engineering design projects every year to help sponsor and advance technical challenges towards viable solutions. And here is our innovation team and some of their successes. Each year, the results grow larger impacts by partnering with the Invent Penn State initiative. Our ability to help organizations and entrepreneurs has broadened significantly across Pennsylvania. The INCU student entrepreneurship efforts have helped advance many student companies to where their student founders have worked full-time after graduation, building their companies within Pennsylvania and beyond. So cool stuff happening. I'm going to stop now. You've heard about PennTAP. You've heard a lot about a lot of funding resources available. Are there any questions? And we can open that up. All you have to do is chat in the chat pad and type out your questions. I do have a question. Can you send the program slides to us? This is one of the participants, and as I said, we will be posting this, archiving this on the PennTAP website, and we can email this to you as well. So yes, we will do that for you. Any other questions? And as I'm waiting for questions, I do want to thank everyone for taking the time to be with us on our webinar today.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Ed. Yes.
Hi, there is a question there for this Advantage Grant, and that is, what tips can be offered to help secure the Small Business Advantage Grant? Well, I would need to know a little bit more information about that, Vince, to answer that question. Uh, Really, it comes down to, as long as you have fewer than 100 employees and you can save 25% and $500 on your project, and you get it in you get your application in fast enough, you should be able to get a Small Business Advantage Grant. If you would like, Vince, please give me a call. After 1 o'clock here. My phone number is 717-783-0909, and I'll be happy to answer any of those questions that you have. I see, Vince, that you also typed in, if my customer is an economically distressed community with few jobs, does that help the application? No, it does not. There's a lot of different Commonwealth programs that do target distressed communities, but mine is strictly a first come, first served project or program. And please be aware that anyone applying for the Small Business Advantage Grant must be a small business. They cannot be a nonprofit. They cannot be a municipality, things like that.
Okay, 1 more minute for any additional questions. And I'd like to thank you for being online with us today. I appreciate all the information that you've given us through the Department of Environmental Protection and the grants and loans that they have to offer. Thank you. I don't see any more questions, so I guess we're just going to end our webinar for today. Thank you so much to everyone for participating and being on today's webinar. And for additional webinars, you can go to the Penn Tap webpage under training. We have archived webinars, and then we have webinars posted there every month. So thank you for our Lunch and Learn series.